in my bedroom again, because it's so fucking noisy everywhere in this house. So I was having a debate about a year ago with a fellow atheist. It was about Gnosticism and Agnosticism. He was a Gnostic, I was an agnostic. Now firstly, the terms agnostic and atheist, or Gnostic and atheist, are not mutually exclusive. You can be an agnostic with no particular stance, but most atheists are agnostic. Agnostic means that you don't know. Atheist means you don't believe. I don't know whether God exists, and I also don't believe that God exists. Now this guy that I was debating, he knew that God didn't exist, and he also didn't believe that he existed. And I don't think that that's a very rational position to hold, because you can never know whether God exists or not. I have no idea. But I think that because there's a lack of evidence, that it would be rational to conclude that God doesn't exist. But this guy was saying, you know, the fact that there's no evidence and the Big Bang all proves that it's absolutely certain that God doesn't exist. I mean, God could have started the Big Bang, but that's another thing, that's for another time. What reminded me of this debate was I found on the floor, I don't know where it came from, but it was like a piece of paper, and I actually wrote down one of the comments that I said because I thought it was pretty cool. So I thought I'd read it to you, so here goes. Don't get me wrong, I'm less than a negligible percentage away from Gnosticism when it comes to the supernatural, but the very fact that most supernatural hypotheses are unfalsifiable is why I'm not quite Gnostic. Although, if you asked me to put a number on my certainty that theism is false, I wouldn't have enough time in my day to add all the 9s onto 99.9%. I'm not sitting on the fence, I'm hanging from it, and my foot is touching the grass of Gnosticism. I suppose in simpler terms what I was saying was, I am an agnostic, but I'm not one of these in the middle on the fence kind of people. I'm so close to Gnosticism, but you can never be a Gnostic about anything, because it's quite possible that everything that we think we know about what we see around us is completely false. I stated in one of my earlier videos last year, does anything actually exist, that everything that we see and hear and touch and feel is just created by our brain. So it's being intellectually honest to say that you don't know, but you should also express the extent to which you're certain about things.